Good evening, everybody. I'm Reed Powell.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook in for Sarah and Ryan tonight. We begin with the monkeypox outbreak and the fight for treatment.
So this evening, California says it will not declare a statewide state of emergency over monkeypox, at least not yet. They're watching it closely. San Francisco, though, has announced its own public health emergency. So state officials are watching that closely. And at the state level, they expect 72,000 new doses of the vaccine from the feds. They are using infrastructure from the coronavirus pandemic to respond to the rising cases.
Here's a look at where California stands right now. The state has reported nearly 800 cases. And in San Francisco, the city has reported 281 cases. That's up 20 cases from yesterday. We spoke today with a San Francisco man who is battling monkeypox.
Yeah, he's calling for better leadership by government officials and city officials when it comes to getting access to the shot. KPIX 5's Andrea Borba is here with that story.
Well, David Watson is frustrated. Not only are he and his husband now both sick with monkeypox, accessing vaccines and treatments has been exceedingly hard, all while they're suffering. When David Watson started feeling sick, he thought he had COVID-19 again.
The symptoms were almost identical, with the exception of my tongue got swollen. That was the only thing that was different.
Then came the first lesion on his cheek, and David traced his exposure to giving a friend a hug and a kiss on his cheek.
He had a lesion on his face. He thought it was a pimple, just like this. If you take a look at this, you see that it looks like a pimple, and didn't realize it. A hug, kiss, that's all it took.
Now 3 ER visits and multiple opioid prescriptions later, he is still in agony.
It is like it's like sitting on shards of glass, and I hope that's PG rated enough. It is the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my 47 years on this planet. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy.
David's husband is also sick with monkeypox now. He's frustrated about the lack of monkeypox vaccine access and the slow response from state, local, and federal governments.
I have been asking for a vaccine since the middle of June. I have been asking for it, and that is where the federal government has failed us, is that they knew about monkeypox from mid-May.
David is particularly frustrated given the lessons that should have been learned by government during the COVID-19 pandemic.
It feels like AIDS all over again, the shaming. You know, I did not get it through a means of sexual contact. And that is the thing. Anyone can get this. And something that was as completely innocent as what looked like a pimple that was swollen.
Now, there should be good news on the horizon for David tomorrow. He's finally set to have an antiretroviral called TPOXX FedEx to him. Hopefully that will relieve some of his symptoms and speed his recovery. Liz?
Andrea, thank you. You can find the latest on the monkeypox outbreak and vaccines on KPIX.com and streaming on CBS News Bay Area.